You're going to take a look at the money, and you're not going to take your eyes off the money. You're going to stare at it. You're going to stalk it. You're going to get it, because we don't leave anything on the plate. Today, we're going to talk about Hasib Qureshi. He is the CEO of Dragonfly Capital, and he's connected to BlackRock, and he's connected to Plume token and the ecosystem. And you need to know it, because this is about having in your portfolio the biggest opportunities to get that money. Keep your eyes on it, because I'm going to share it with you right now. Now, did you know this? There are two things that you need to know that will help you out. BlackRock BUIDL Fund, also called BUIDL tokens, and zero knowledge proofs. I need you to imagine that these two concepts are not foreign. I have explained it, but I will continue to explain it because this is huge. BUIDL is a product that BlackRock made with $2.9 billion for institutional investors, not for you, not for your cousin, for big companies, big ventures into that area, but not retail investors. You are a retail investor, but through Nest, you can get the money. You can get the money because you can get a investment through yield, connecting it. And who can give you that? Plume. But what does that have to do with Dragonfly Capital? Because they invested in two things that you need to know about: zero knowledge proof technology and BlackRock BUIDL. Now, why is that important? Because these tokens that you buy low and sell high are motors. I'm talking about buying and investing in the oil that smooths the motor and keeps it running. Zero knowledge proofs is that, and let's explain why. I showed you in the last videos that zero knowledge proofs is connected to everyone in the ecosystem, but who is the wizard behind Oz? That is Union Square Ventures and also Multicoin Capital. Wait a minute, let me stop you right now. If you like knowing who the bigwigs are connected, put this on your TV screen right now. Don't watch this graph. I did all this work for you without seeing these connections. Share it with somebody because they want to get the money. You want to get the money. I want you to get the money. Put this on your TV screen and share it and subscribe if you like this type of information. Now, let's get back to this money. Now, if we look at this money, we see the biggest companies. Andreessen Horowitz investing with zero knowledge proof technology, SWFT, MOCA, Plume, Digital Currency Group, Dragonfly Capital, Polygon, XRP. All of these companies connected through one thing: zero knowledge proofs. Now, I'm not going to explain what it is today. Just understand it's for privacy security, but that's what you need to hear. Look for zero knowledge proofs and you will find the money. Now, as we looked, last time I told you, Andreessen Horowitz, the biggest venture capitalist company in the world, one of the biggest, it has 10 investments with Dragonfly Capital. We found out that BlackRock and Grayscale are all connected through Digital Currency Group. So if you're looking at billions of dollars of assets in tokenized, then you need to look no further. BlackRock, Larry Fink, Barry Silbert, and Peter Mintzberg of Grayscale are all connected. And Peter Mintzberg came from BlackRock, but I digress. That's connected tissue. Watch the other videos and let's get to this Dragonfly money. Here we go. This is what you need to know. We have a crypto billionaire who is connected to Andreessen Horowitz, and he's connected to Union Square Ventures and Multicoin Capital. You need to see these names and memorize them. Union Square Ventures is the key, whether you've heard of them or not, behind it all. And who is helping them? Multicoin Capital invests Andreessen Horowitz money, and also Union Square Ventures, and they are behind the biggest projects, and they move silently. And the one area that they've been in since 2018, it's what I'm trying to tell you: zero knowledge proofs. But let's go further. Union Square Ventures are all on the board of Coinbase. So projects that they talk about, that they want, they invest in, get listed on Coinbase. Not maybe, almost always. Why? Because they're on the board. So I want you to understand that if you stick with this information today, you're going to find out which investment are going to come home. I can't tell you which ones you should get. I can only tell you that you're in a good time. But this is what Dragonfly Capital said you need to know as an investor, and then we're going to get to this money. This is what he said.
Look, the thing about investing is that you can learn very easily. all of the mechanics of investing. The thing that I can't teach you is I can't teach you judgment. If you don't have judgment, no amount of learning how to read term sheets and no amount of learning how to do valuation is going to be able to make you into a good investor. Your ability to look somebody in the eye and really understand, is this the person who's going to build this thing that everybody knows, or at least everybody believes at that time, is going to come to shore. And if you are a founder and you decide to go ahead and build this company, you are one grain of sand fighting in that tidal wave to make it to shore. And not every grain of sand makes it. But if you're an investor, you get to pull up a chair on the beach and watch the wave come in and decide which of these little waves that you see is going to end up becoming the big wave.
You are in the best seat in the world as an investor. I have uncovered it for you. Zero knowledge proofs, BlackRock BUIDL, and the connection to Plume Token, Dragonfly Capital. And don't take my word for it. Be that investor on the beach. And do you believe, with your instincts, this is going to come to shore? Well, these individuals believe it. Let me tell you what they're talking about. When you look at this, ZkSync, a cryptocurrency project that reads, zero knowledge rollups is their product, and it validates data on the blockchain in this particular mathematical form. The companies that are behind raising $458 million from September 2019 to 17 June of 2024, here's a few. Vitalik, Buterin, CoinDesk, Coinbase Ventures, Consensus, and Blockchain. Well, who is that? Do you recognize this? The Ethereum co-founder. There he goes again, Barry Silbert, the crypto billionaire of Digital Currency Group, who owns Grayscale. Dragonfly Capital, Blockchain Capital, and Brian Armstrong of Coinbase Ventures. And right there at the top right, you see him. That's Alex, who is over the product called ZkSync. That's the first one I need you to recognize. It is a zero knowledge proof technology. And these individuals are part of the people put almost $500 million in it in less than a few years ago and still invested. That means that this individual over Ethereum believed that this was important. But why does he believe it's important? Let him tell you himself.
Things that you can do. So for example, there's this concept of ZK snarks, right? I'll call it zero knowledge proofs. So this is the idea that you can make a cryptographic proof that says, I verified or I ran some complex computation on this piece of data and I got this answer. And so if you make these kinds of proofs, then like if you see a ZK snark that says some block is valid, then you're convinced that that block is valid. And even if, everyone in that committee is evil, like they have no way of making a valid proof for a bad block, right? Like because the proof itself, like it is a proof that you did the computation, where that proof is much easier to verify than just running the computation yourself. And, there's once again, super awesome mathematical cryptographic magic behind making ZK snarks work.
So just like he said, he saw the future for Ethereum itself. Ethereum, the co-founder, has invested in ZkSync, and that's not the project, the zero knowledge technology. Let me show you this. Dragonfly Capital, through Matters Labs, the name of the company that created ZkSync, ran by Alex right there in the middle. Vitalik, Buterin of Ethereum, and Dragonfly Capital were one of the earliest investors in the technology zero knowledge proofs. And 2019, in the same project through Matter Labs, Andreessen Horowitz invested to Matters Lab, who created ZkSync, ran by Alex. Blockchain Capital, they, as we saw, were part of the $450 million invested in ZkSync, zero knowledge technologies. Coinbase Ventures CEO Brian Armstrong was a part of the $450 million. And just to add a note, ZkSync is on Coinbase, just so you know. It's not a coincidence. But that's not even what I'm talking about here, folks. Why? November 8th, 2021, Matter Labs ZkSync says the following. Matter Labs, our long-term goal is to make self-sovereign participation in the digital economy. That is maintaining true control over one's digital assets. ZK stands for Zero Knowledge Proof, a family of sophisticated protocols. Now, I understand you might be scratching your head and you don't understand what is a ZK proof. That's going to be in my other connected series so I can break it down for you. But just understand this. It's a privacy mathematical form that allows you to not provide your personal information, but still verify who you are. That is the 1,000-foot view of it. But your thing is this technology going to come to shore as an investor? Well, let's see if we can prove it is. Now, this is what you need to know. November 8th, 2021, the article further says that Matter Labs announces $50 million in new funding for ZkSync. Who were the funders? Andreessen Horowitz, Blockchain.com, Crypto.com, Consensus, Bybit, OKX, Alchemy, Covalent, and more. How about these? Dragonfly Capital, Alchemy, Rarible. ZkSync uses advanced math to scale Ethereum fully trustless manner. If Vitalik Buterin of Ethereum is telling you that the ZkSync is the thing that you need to know about, then I would probably take your word for it. Are these the people who will build the product? Well, this is what that shows you. According to this data, November 8, 2021, we see the investors to Alex Glutrowicz. He is the CEO of Matter Labs who created ZkSync. We see Andreessen Horowitz. We see Dragonfly Capital. We see Union Square Ventures. We see Blockchain Capital. I told you about this in episode 3.1 of The Connected. I told you that these individuals are connected through zero knowledge proofs. Everyone you see here, but I'm about to blow your mind even more. We're not going to give it all of it to you today. This is what I want you to know. I'm going to leave you with this thought. Did you realize that Union Square Ventures in 2018 invested through Multicoin Capital to create a particular ZK knowledge proof technology? That's going to be important here soon. You'll see. That ZK knowledge technology ended up being invested in a company today that's called ZkMe, a zero knowledge proof technology that's the underlying privacy token for both Plume and MOCA token, and the MOCA brands, the biggest in Web3 gaming, and also Plume, the biggest in real world assets. But that's not even it. Look at my map. I made it easy for you to see. Union Square Ventures in 2021 through Matters Lab, also Dragonfly Capital invested to ZkSync, all connected. If it wasn't for Union Square Ventures, Matters Lab wouldn't be created today. It was the seed funding of Union Square Ventures that's connected to all these companies. But this is what you need to know for my Swift coin holders. You know about this? Union Square Ventures in 2022 funded Matters Lab. Dragonfly Capital funded Matters Lab that created ZkSync, and ZkSync was used as the underlying technology for Swift coin and MetaPath. That is these companies right here. Swift coin owns the intellectual property of MetaPath. Swift coin is for remittances. And I want you to know that it's not even done yet. You see, that is just a part of the next story I'm going to tell you. You need to also know that Dragonfly put a $3.4 million investment in 2023. And what did they invest in? They invested in a little technology called Renegade. And what is Renegade? Well, let's find out. Encryption and zero knowledge proofs. On February 20, 2023, they only ever inspect the ZK proofs of valid transactions. No more transactions, reordering, shenanigans, and sandwich attacks. The majority of ZKP applications to date have, like rollups, been for succinctness. However, Renegade zero knowledge proofs are used to mask balances and transactions. Folks, this is where we're going to be at. On my next conversation with you, I want you to understand completely that I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you about a special individual that invested with SwiftCoin. I'm going to show you how this is connected to SwiftCoin with $0 proofs. And I'm going to show you how Dragonfly Capital connects to SwiftCoin through these projects. You have seen the connections. BlackRock BUIDL has 3 projects that Dragonfly Capital invested in that is a part of the BUIDL product. The BUIDL product is connected to NEST and has $2.9 billion. You, as a retail investor, can get the institutional yield that you can't get because you're not an institutional investor by having Plume token and Elixir and the ecosystem. And Dragonfly Capital has 3 of the 7 products in BUIDL. They led the funding to create them. And at their top, we're talking about one, Avalanche has over $146 per coin, and other ones, $19 per coin. At the time when this video is being done, how much is XRP worth? And that's one project. Imagine 3 that you're waiting for ETF. You already have the BUIDL product here. Zero knowledge proof companies. What companies are invested with Dragonfly? Well, I'm revealing it all. And I'm also going to tell you that SwiftCoin is one you need to have on your radar. We have liftoff. In my next conversation, we're headed to Swift. Thank you for watching. This has been Connected.
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Oh my God. Juices will